With that handshake, a historic partnership was forged between two government agencies that will see a transformation of marine waste into wealth. Hello and welcome. It's Nimasa this week, the voice of maritime, where we take you around the world of maritime as it relates to the activities of the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, as the agency continues to fulfill its statutory obligation both to regulate and to promote the advancement of shipping in Nigeria. My name is Ubong Essien. As always, I will be your guide on this voyage.
I am Engineer Fidet Okiria, Managing Director, CEO of Nigerian Railway Corporation. And you are working in Nimasa this week, the voice of maritime. Please stay tuned.
Welcome back. It's still Nimasa this week, the voice of maritime. On today's episode, as always, we begin with the Director General's diary. What has Dr. Bashir Jamo, the DG of Nimasa, been up to during the week? Well, I take you back to that historic handshake. Dr. Jamo took out time to meet with the Managing Director of the Nigerian Railway Corporation, Engineer Fidet Okiria, to explore how Nimasa, alongside its other partners, can revitalize the century-old foundry of the NRC. You get to find out how this fits into Nimasa's responsibility of removing wrecks from our waters and translating those wrecks into vital material for shipbuilding and ship repairs. And of course, you'll find out more from our other regular segments. So if you're ready, as we always say, it's anchors away.
Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, Nimasa, in collaboration with Nigerian Railway Corporation, NRC, and the Bayelsa State Government, are set to resuscitate the railway foundry for the benefit of the country. This was revealed when the DG of Nimasa, Dr. Bashir Jamo, in company of the Managing Director of NRC, Engineer Fidet Okiria, and some other senior executives of both organizations, inspected the Nigerian Railway Foundry located within the NRC complex in Abutemeta, Lagos. Dr. Jamo stated that Nimasa is vested with the sole responsibility to receive all categories of wrecks removed. This is to ensure that wrecks that are removed from the waterways do not end up scattered indiscriminately on land as waste, thereby causing environmental hazards.
If we have to remove wrecks holistically, the way we presented to the Federal Executive Council, we have Zone 1 comprising of Badagry Creek to Tinkan Island Fort. And then we have the Western Zone. That is the second zone. We have Eastern Zone based in Port Harcourt. That is the third zone. Then we have Central Zone in Warri. That's the fourth zone. Now, assuming MPA and NIWA decide also to do the same, then we will have to start thinking, where are we going to deposit these wrecks? Now, before going there, we have post-removal plan. And that post-removal plan is for us to talk to the MD Railway with a partner in South Africa, technical partner in South Africa, to come to Nigeria, invest by taking over the Nigerian Railway Foundry. As you are aware, we have been engaging the neutral states to tell us the areas of their comparative advantage in terms of blue economy. And one of the things the Bayelsa state government says they are interested in wreck recycling plant. So we are now bringing Bayelsa state government, Nimasa, as co-partners. Then we have South African company, the technical partner, and then we have Nigeria Railway owning the foundry. So we are here today to inspect the foundry and see how we can bring this investor in, and then we will see how we can revive this for public good.
Dr. Jamo indicated that the foundry will create several jobs with spare parts for shipbuilding and ship repairs, thereby saving foreign exchange for the country.
This foundry will create a number of jobs. When you look at the supply chain, the number of jobs that will create is not going to be less than 1,000. And 1,000 employment as of today is something in the life of Nigerian youth. Now, apart from that, our shipbuilding industry, ship repair industry will be able to get a kind of spare parts, raw materials from this particular foundry, thereby saving the foreign exchange earnings we are having in Nigeria. And then thirdly, the economy, instead of us going abroad to procure most of the spare parts, this foundry will be able to assist in doing so. And above all, not only the wrecks we remove that will be utilized here, all those individuals that have their own metals and iron that cannot be used, so they will have to utilize this.
Engineer Ohiria was delighted that their prayers are gradually being answered and promised that the NRC will support Nimasa.
We stand in supporting Nimasa to come into railway and see the investment. Now, it's a matter of looking inward. You have just mentioned about charter flights. We spend a lot of money importing spare parts. We have the space. We have some little equipment that we are no longer putting to use because we couldn't meet up with the time. Engineering has changed. These things we have built by our colonial masters are left for us, and we're supposed to be changing with it. But at the time, we are down and out. Thank God today we are breathing fresh air. And now that they have looked, okay, let's come together and collaborate together, which I think is the right direction.
Engineer Ohiria also noted that Nigeria will benefit from knowledge transfer, especially for students of tertiary institutions during their 3 months or 6 months industrial training, and it will also save the time it takes to bring in metal parts from abroad.
Nigeria will benefit because they can bring people from South Africa, and technology will be transferred, and Nigerians will be employed, and that, apart from the cost of getting it abroad, time, and sometimes at some expense, we have some locomotive coaches, even with still our technical partner here, waiting for 6 months, 7 months to get the parts brought into Nigeria. So, but when we have foundry, and especially iron, or that can be, if you have a foundry that can make those parts, getting the molds, apart from providing this space, we will be major patronizers of such company, because the locomotive, the coaches are all made of iron, of metal, and I think we are ready market for it. Then before they look outside, not only Nigeria, maybe West African sub-region. Now that Nimasa is here, we will partner with them, at least provide our space after getting necessary approval. I'm happy today.
On when the foundry project will commence, Dr. Jamo said,
We made our presentation to Federal Executive Council for the wreck removal on the first leg out of 4, and approval has been granted. So that goes to show that any moment from now, the contractor will be mobilized to site. We are developing an action plan with deliverables, timeline, and key performance indicators, so that before the end of the year, we will see this particular foundry, even if not all, part of it start working. That is our target and that's our plan.
With the kind of support that we have gotten from the ministry, we can just move ahead to commission feasibility study, look at the feasibility of the whole project, and I believe that with the dwindling foreign exchange that is coming into the country, with this gigantic idle country, we can able to actualize the dream of the management.
We are prepared and we are ready to partner with anybody that comes in to set up a foundry here. We support with the personnel, we support with our experience, and like my MD has said, we will do everything humanly possible on our part to make sure that the project succeeds.
It is worth noting that the foundry is over 100 years, having been established 4 years after the railway was founded. The foundry was established by the colonial masters to serve as spare parts supports for the railway until it went comatose in the late 80s. This current effort at resuscitating the foundry will no doubt help in the infrastructural drive of the country, develop local capacity, generate income, and positively impact the environment. Introducing the Nimasa Distress Response Call Lines for all maritime stakeholders, ship owners, seafarers, ship captains. Whatever your challenge or distress in the Nigerian maritime domain, please call 0803 0685 167, 0708 0005 956, 0700 0700 010. If you can't reach us on these lines, please call 0700 0700 020, 0700 0700 030. Also via VHF Radio Channel 16. Call and Nimasa will respond. In this concluding installment, we shall delve into what Nimasa is doing to address and harness the critical and colossal challenge of wrecks and derelicts along the nation's coastal corridor. The urgency of the issue and the imperative of wreck removal is premised on the recorded number of maritime accidents due to wrecks. In a bid to reduce the incidents, it became imperative for Nimasa to create awareness in terms of managing and ensuring safety by ensuring free navigational paths and providing a good environment for the ships to operate. With the enormous benefits to be derived from wreck removal, especially in the area of recycling, employment, and revenue generation, the Director General of Nimasa, Dr. Bashiru Jamo, made a presentation to the Federal Executive Council on removal of wrecks and derelicts along our coastal waterway, which was approved. Dr. Jamo indicated that Nimasa intends to recycle by salvaging the wrecks and processing through a foundry operation. Nimasa proposed a tripartite model with Nigerian Railway Corporation as the provider of foundry location, Bayelsa State Government and Nimasa to provide counterpart funding, and the Ledi Foundry, a South African company, as technical partners to upgrade the foundry. This model is to ensure that rather than end up in the dump site or thrown around everywhere, wrecks become materials that generate economic benefits. This would be in line with the current practice all over the world, where technology has now made it possible for common waste, industrial and domestic, to be turned into wealth. Recycled wrecks will become materials and spare parts for shipbuilding and repairs, as well as locomotive and coaches. The benefits that will accrue to Nigeria from wreck removal and recycling are quite huge. It will improve safety along the country's navigational corridors within the internal waterways and territorial waters outside its shores. This would impact positively other businesses that are carried out daily in the waterways, like fishing and passenger transportation. It will also lead to a drastic reduction, if not total elimination, of marine accidents that are linked to wrecks. The wrecks removal and recycling initiative is expected to create an entirely new industry that would generate employment for our teeming youths, especially in the area of skilled labor, and increase the level of Nigeria's technical know-how in the industry. This would in turn add value through revenue generation to the government, and the gains that will be derived from this model will guarantee environmental sustainability for the continuous development of maritime businesses.
Can we talk about this certification and training for seafarers? Is it the MTIs that you have mentioned that take care of that, or the maritime administrations? You mentioned that a maritime administration must have a certification and examination department and all. Can you please throw light on that?
Well, training of seafarers, I think comes in two stages.
Okay.
You have the training which is done in the training institutions, the MTI he just mentioned.
Okay.
And that
so
is
what kind of training does this MTIs give to the seafarers, and what is the difference between what they give and that of the maritime administration?
Oh, the MTIs, they have what they call the model courses, which originated from the international maritime organizations, and they have course syllabus and all that, which is all from the international maritime organization, and they follow through all the trainings that is required of them by the IMO. They are actually specialized training institutions. It's not the regular university or any other schools you might think about.
It's specialized
for maritime training of seafarers. They go through that training. There are different categories. You have two of them. You have the two major sections that are considered on vessels: the navigation section and the marine engineering section. Navigation section is the category that rises to the rank of a captain on a ship, and the engineering rises to the level of a chief engineer on the ship. Now they have different trainings and different levels of trainings in those various departments. You have the OOW, which is the officer of the watch. You also have the third engineer, fourth engineer, second engineer, and also the chief engineer's level. And from the navigation, you have the OOW, also have the chief mate, second mate, and also the master mariner's level. So after the academic training in the institutions, we follow up with what they call the sea training, which is a practical aspect of the academics they have acquired in school. So from that aspect of sea training, most times it's about 12 months for the initial OOW courses. On completion of this 12 months at sea, you have to now come up to the administration again for examinations that would certify you as an OOW officer of the watch.
So what is the obligation of the ship owner under the SCCW?
Yeah, well, for the obligation of the ship owner, like you rightly said, they hire the seafarers, and they are meant to ensure that the seafarer is appropriately qualified for the position that he is to handle on board ship. In addition to that, STCW convention makes it explicitly clear for the seafarers, for the ship owners, to ensure that they cross-check with the administration, maritime administration, the validity of such certificates, and ensure that they are appropriately qualified.
So when a ship owner wants to recruit a seafarer, you must approach the maritime administration to confirm the validity of the certificates of that seafarer.
That's very correct. They don't have to come in person. They write sometimes.
You can write to the administration.
They can write to us, and we respond accordingly. We go through our database of certificates. Yes.
Is there any form of penalty for when a ship owner does not comply with these processes, or when the ship owner employs a seafarer that doesn't have the required certificate?
When you hire somebody that is underqualified, you are running a risk of insurance, one. When you have an issue any issue with your ship, maybe collision or marine accident, the first thing the insurance will go for is the certificate of the ship When they are through with that and discover that that ship is adequately registered, certificated, they pick on the seafarers. If a seafarer, even able seaman, is not adequately certificated, you lose all the benefits you are supposed to get from such accident. Additionally, for every administration, they have scale of punishment for hiring ship owners who hire unqualified, unskilled seamen on board their ships. That is the reason why they have to come to us and make adequate investigation on the genuinity of the certificate before they employ them on board ships. So, but on the fines and what is the obligation of the safety administration, on maybe we are going to fine you if you found on board ships, when we go for flag inspections and postates, any vessel that we find that has on board unqualified crew or a seafarer is automatically detention.
So you detain the vessel?
The vessel for unsafe. That has rendered the vessel unsafe.
Unseaworthy.
Yeah, so we have to detain you. And when you are detained, you are alongside the jetty. You are open to demurrage from the port authorities and other charges that will keep you on board on that place. And we will not allow you to go until you are able to get a person that will take over that very position.
Thank you very much, Engineer Aladinusi, for your time and for your answers to our questions. Thank you very much, Engineer Umo Otong, for your time also. We appreciate you coming to Nimasa this week's segment.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Viewers, that is it for this segment of Know Your Conventions on Nimasa This Week, the voice of maritime. See you next time.
Welcome back. It's still Nimasa This Week, the voice of maritime, and it's time to read the DG's tweets for the week. And we've got two tweets where the DG is engaging on the social media platforms to let people know what is going on in the Nigerian maritime space. On our first tweet, it's a deal, he says. My recent visit to the Nigerian Railway Corporation to obtain the support of its MD, Fidet Ohiria, as a partner towards reviving its century-old foundry for the recycling of the soon-to-be-removed wrecks in our waters. Hashtag creating opportunities in the maritime sector. Before this historic meeting, the DG had earlier tweeted, hashtag progress report on hashtag maritime safety, hashtag shipping development. Glad to announce the Federal Executive Council's approval for the first phase removal of wrecks and derelicts in our waters. This will clear the navigational routes for safe shipping and open up recycling opportunities. You can continue the conversation with the DG of Nimasa on his Twitter handle at Jamo Bashir. And remember that the hashtag to use is the voice of maritime. Additionally, we have our Nimasa official social media handles as displayed on the screen, whether it's on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. You can engage with the agency on social media as well. Don't forget, our website remains valid. Every week there are updates keeping us abreast about what's going on in the Nigerian maritime domain. Visit the website for more information, and that will enable you stay in touch with the agency as you seek to realize your maritime dreams.
I am Hadiza Bala Usman, Managing Director, Nigerian Ports Authority, and you're watching Nimasa This Week, the voice of maritime. Stay tuned.
hope you've enjoyed today's episode of your program, Nimasa This Week, the Voice of Maritime, Nigeria's sole authoritative as far as maritime issues are concerned. Remember John Masefield when he said, "Men in ship are usually looking up, whereas men ashore are always looking down." Keep looking up and continue to stay on course. Nimasa will continue to provide that support to help Nigerians stay engaged as far as shipping and maritime is concerned. My name remains Ubong Essien. I'll see you next time.